For every active fire scene that these men and women go to, there are hundreds of hours of training that go in to make sure that they're ready for no matter what happens on the scene. Whether it's a house, a high-rise commercial building, or even in the great outdoors with hiking in lakes and rivers. Men and women in fire departments around the region spend hundreds of hours training to make sure they're ready for when that call comes.
2.5 inch and 3/4. I prefer this. It takes a little bit more practice to get good at it, but once you get it, man, it's smooth.
Our training is extremely important in anything that we do, and it's something that we do every single day, whether it's fire training as you see behind me here, or if it's EMS training, or just training in general, things that we do around the station. It's something we do every single day, and it's so we can perfect our craft, hone in our skills, just stay on top of everything, and the new things that are coming in that we receive, we've got to make sure that we stay on top of those. In our profession, there's really no room for error. An error can be life or death, whether it's yourself, your crew, or the people that you're trying to rescue. So it's extremely important that we continue to do this training to where we don't have those errors, because honestly, there's really no room for error in our profession.
So I'll say forward, and we move forward. Stop. So, let's say something happens. He slips and I fall. Where's the knob? Pick me up. More hose. Less hose. Good. Forward. Stop. All right. He's doing the work. All I was doing was steering, just like the old way, right?
You can never be prepared enough, because there's an old saying that we say, especially when you're on the ambulance, you never say that you've seen it all, because as soon as you say that, you're going to be on a run where it's something new. So that's why it's important for us, it's imperative of us that we train all the time. That way we're ready for any situation that possibly could come up, whether it's on the ambulance in an EMS run, or whether it's at a fire scene and we're saving a life or trying to save property. It's extremely important that we prepare for every situation. What we'll try to do is we do our best to try to simulate a real-life experience. Like in the training tower, which you're going to see soon, we'll put in there fake smoke, theater smoke, and they'll actually go in there and they'll try to ventilate the tower. What that is there's a roof prop. You'll see they'll go up and they'll make cuts in the roof to help ventilate and let out the bad gas and the heat. But we try to create real-life scenarios using the props that we have. That way, when we get in those situations, once again, we've already trained for them. We know what's going on, and we try to do it safely and as quickly as possible.
The hands-on training with lifelike scenarios is key for when the real call comes in. Firefighter Branham talks us through the features and how it can help when they respond to a fire, rescue, or medical call.
As firefighters and paramedics, it's imperative that we get the most real experienced props, things that are the most similar to what we may see on a scene. We get those here so we can train on them for the real life situations. So what you see behind me is our new training tower. It just opened recently, and one of the things, as we talked about real life scenarios and the best props that we can get, a training tower like this gives us optimal training. It gives us a way we can do roof ventilation. It's also going to give us chances with our rope rescue team where they can come in and actually rappel off the sides, do different rescue tactics like if they were doing rope rescue on a building. Also, we've got high-rise training. We're able to practice our high-rise training, which we have here in Lexington. We can hook to the standpipe system, flow water, do everything you would do in a high-rise situation. From where we're facing the tower now to the left-hand side is going to be where your roof prop is. It's going to be similar to a two-story dwelling, a residential dwelling, and it's set up like that so we can get on the roof and actually practice ventilating the roof. What you're going to have on the right-hand side, the taller portion, is going to be simulation of the actual high-rise itself. It's going to have the stairwell in there, and then once you get to the top, there's a flat surface where they can actually anchor in with their rescue ropes and actually go over and practice their rappelling as well. It is a regional training tower, so there are going to be other departments eventually come in and be able to use this tower to train on as well. It's something that mutual aid is something that we tend to maybe need one day, where we'll work with other departments, and it's important that they kind of know how we operate and we know how they operate as well. All right, so what you're going to see first is this is going to be roof ventilation. This is simple, like a single-story structure. Our ladder truck would get on, one of their first jobs is to get on the roof and ventilate the home. And why that's important is because all your bad gases and the heat are all up high. So if our ladder crew can get on there and ventilate that roof, it makes it easier on the crews that are inside, as well as if there's any victims inside, it also makes it easier on them for us to be able to get them out. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to actually put the ladder truck itself, they'll position it to where they can get access to the roof. Once they've gained access to the roof, they're going to start a chainsaw, and they'll take the chainsaw up and they're actually going to make a cut in the roof. Then they'll pop that through, they'll take the part they cut off, they'll pop through the drywall and the ceiling, and that'll give way for the ventilation for all the bad gases and everything. Essentially like a chimney. All the bad gases can come up out of the house and make it better for the conditions inside. Next thing you're going to see is our rescue team, Rescue 1. They're going to be actually rappelling out of the top of the tower. It gives them the opportunity to practice their ropes and knots, pulley systems, things like that they would use in a rescue type situation if they had to rappel, say in a high-rise or a home or whatever they encounter. It's not just for buildings. It can also be used, they can anchor in and use it if it is a high-angle rescue. It gives them the opportunity to use their knots and their pulleys. Everything they use in a rope rescue situation, they can put it to use here on the tower. Next thing you're going to see is our high-rise operations. It gives us, again, the opportunity to practice if we had a fire in a high-rise situation, to where they're going to be able to use the standpipe system, take up extra hose, connect into that standpipe system, and be able to flow water on different levels of the high-rise. A high-rise is actually going to be anything above 7 stories from the ground, and it's going to give us the ability to be able to, we have several of those in Lexington in different locations, some downtown, some in the Beaumont area, and some also in the Hamburg area. So we've got multiple locations where we have those high-rises, and it's imperative that we train on these as well. Each floor is going to have a connection. So you've seen them in the stairwells and near the stairwells when you go in there. Each floor is going to have a standpipe area or a fire department connection. And a lot of people just walk by it and they don't understand what that is. What that is to us is a place where we're going to have water, where we know we have water on each floor. So if I'm on the 6th, 7th, 8th floor, I know I can connect into that standpipe system and get water essentially as if it was a fire hydrant.
Coming up, we're going to spend some more time here with the Lexington Fire Department, seeing some of the training they're doing to stay ready and prepared for the next call.